Good evening and welcome to Omnidog's Vault, Baturdays in the Batcave. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Omnidog with my fabulous co-host, the Minister of Comics himself, Taylor Brown. Taylor, how's it going, buddy?
I'm doing great. We have a lot of awesome people in the chat, especially Mr. Acquired Taste himself, who's in line at Panera right now. I listened to Tyler order his Panera at the drive-thru for 3 minutes on the phone while he was talking to me. So I hope you enjoy that Panera, Tyler.
That would be Super Squad D. I just did a toy video and mentioned him a lot in it. He took all the blame in the toy video I did. My best of 2020 toy video. I blamed it all on Tyler.
I think you both blame each other.
Yeah, we feed off each other.
So you recorded a video you're putting out later? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, I did my best of, my favorite books of 2020, and then will come my favorite top 10 toys of 2020, and then will come favorite science fiction books, part 1. I have enough for 2 parts, and I'm going to do part 1.
And you're not going to spend as much time on this as the fantasy videos, right? Because that took up too much of your time, right?
For some reason, I know these books better, so I don't need to write a summary of each. Yeah, no, I spent 8 hours writing the stupid summaries for the fantasy books because I wanted to give a taste of what the books were like, but I didn't want to give away the ending. But I know, for some reason, I know these science fiction books much better than I do my fantasy books, so I can just go right off maybe because I've read them more recently, but I can just go right off the top of my head. So yeah, 0 time spent preparing for the science fiction video, and it'll probably show.
Well, as long as it doesn't take you too much time, that's all that really matters.
Yeah. So speaking of taking time, you spent a lot of time on the slideshow, the ultra professional slideshow we're going to have tonight, featuring our most anticipated 2021 collected editions. You took, what, 5 or 6 days to put that thing together?
About that, I would say.
Okay.
No, because if people see it, they're like, he spent that much time on that.
No.
I did not spend that much time on it. Well, we have to do tangents first, otherwise everyone will be disappointed. So we can't skip those.
Here's the question I meant. Can we expedite the most anticipated collection talk so we can get to tangents? Super Squad D, I really hope there's some Power Rangers on this list. If not, I will be crushed. You might want to turn this off now. If I were you. Are these solicits for future tangents?
Well, Tyler didn't riot like he said he was going to. He wants you to get those Throwback Thursday videos back.
Oh, my wife's on me now, too, about that. I got to get those going.
And those are pretty easy for the most part, right? You just have to upload them and...
They're in a big, long thing that I have to download and then chop up the series. So it's just a little bit of editing, which I hate. So that's really all it is.
You need to do what Tyler does. Tyler has his friend on Super Squad D edit all of his videos. You need to have a friend who can edit your videos for you, and then you'll be good to go.
Let's see. Who else is...
William Jesney, top 10 tangents of 2020. That's a good idea, everybody. If you remember a tangent from 2020 from Jess and I, let us know in the chat, and we'll read them off. Your favorite tangents from our shows over the past year. So let us know if you remember any of them. I know what my personal favorite is.
Your favorite tangent?
Yeah.
Do you want to say or do you want to wait?
I think my personal favorite tangent was that one time we spent like 30 minutes talking about nostalgia for like a bunch of random stuff back in like the 90s and stuff. And it was like just nothing about comics for like legitimately 30 minutes. We even talked about rotary phones for like 10 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
And pencil sharpeners. It was like the most like off the beaten road tangent you could ever imagine. Psycho Cleveland, you can't say the best tangent is the one you came up with.
Yeah.
That That was a good one, but you need to call out somebody else's tangent.
That was a good tangent, but
he was Swiffering his walls. That was the big.
Yeah, he Swiffered his walls,
which I've never heard of before.
Elizabeth Olsen is always a good tangent. I fully agree with that. Here she is, always at the ready.
Did you watch episode 3 of WandaVision?
I have not. I forgot about it, so I'm going to try and watch it after the show.
Got it.
Because they kicked me out of the Omnibus chat because they wanted to start talking about it. All of them had seen it but me.
Everybody in the comments, Jess loves speculation. He loves when people speculate about who's the villain, where are they. Jess loves hearing theories. Jess wants to hear your pet theory.
Peace and love, peace and love. If you talk about WandaVision tonight, I will kick you right out of the chat.
Well, speaking of tangents, in 2 weeks on Baturdays, it's going to be nothing but tangents. It's going to be the no topic, all tangent show. So that'll be fun.
Yeah.
Are Jess and I trying to give you what you want, or are we just lazy, or both? You all decide.
Jess, are you doing mean comments? The last one was a fun one. That's a good question, Marcelo. Ever since Omar got his channel's really big now, I think he's drawn away all my poisonous viewers because I haven't gotten very many mean comments recently, and he gets a ton of them. He gets some really rude ass comments. He could do one of his own. I've gotten last year. I got a couple of stupid comments.
I got some mean ones last year.
You got some mean ones,
or maybe it was 2019. There was one guy who I've never seen besides that video who told you on a Crime Corner, which is the show that I came up with. Yeah, you should do Crime Corner without this guy. All he adds to the show is a buzzing sound.
Oh, that's right.
That was like our second or third Crime Corner. It was like, hey, you jerk, I'm the one who invented this show. It wouldn't exist without me, so whatever.
That's right. And for a while, you answered my text was like, bzzz.
Comic Bound, that's a good point. Is it a tangent if there's no topic? I don't know how I feel about this.
Yeah, I was afraid that you may have announced it too early, but it's okay.
We'll give them something to look forward to. That's all that matters. And we can always change our minds if we want to. Yeah, Super Squad D, he's never gotten a mean comment, ever. Everyone loves him.
We're going to fix that.
And everybody, we're still taking bets on when Tyler's going to cave and buy all the McFarlane figures. I still think he's sitting on them right now, but doesn't want to tell us. But we'll see.
Let's see your figures. Can you point them out?
Yeah, I spent a long time, not a long time, but it was hard getting them all posed. So Jess was really kind to me, and he sent me a symbiote Spider-Man. He sent me I think one of your many vultures that you have, because you always say you have a lot of vultures, right?
I have one and two vultures up, and that guy I sent you, I felt like I didn't need a third vulture.
Well, why don't you talk about something else? I'll try to get a picture of it and screen share it so I can show everybody. Try to read some other comments. Figures? Yeah, that way I can show everybody, because I can't pick up the iMac and move it across the room. Otherwise, I would. Okay,
I'll put it on me, and you just tell me when you want to be included in the show.
Sounds good.
Okay. Hey, everybody. How's it going? It's Jess right here. Michael Eamon, don't even try. Yeah, I can't complain, Marcelo. People send me nice ones. But when I first started, I got lots of rude ones. But not so much anymore. So let me go through some of the that's right. Anyone talk about WandaVision after the second will be tossed. Peace and love, peace and love. When are you going to get an Elizabeth Olsen gift? You are in luck. Let me do it real quick while Taylor's not here.
I have it ready to go whenever you are. After you show the GIF or after you're showing the GIF
Here's
or whatever.
WandaVision.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Let me share my screen.
Okay. Are you okay with this, or do you want me to put it back to what it was?
I don't care. Whatever.
Okay. Oh, there's Sam Cluxon. Jess, why did Mrs. Omnidog take down the videos of your daughter singing in Seussical? First of all, that was 11. Wait, what year is this? That was 12 years ago. And thank you for watching my daughter singing in Seussical. That was her senior year in high school. I don't think we took it down. I'll have to ask my wife. I forgot all about it, so I don't think she took it down. We could put it back up if you want. It's a good performance. She did really well. Okay, let's see. We've got, there it is.
All right, so Jess sent me the symbiote Spider-Man with the Kingpin head. So I made this like a hunting display. So symbiote Spider-Man tracked down Kingpin, cut off his head, and he's using it as a trophy. Daredevil, which I love that Daredevil in that Billy Club. It's so cool. I think you have that one too, right?
I do, yeah. Not close by, but I do have that one.
And so he just knocked over the sixth, I guess the six-arm Spider-Man. And then there's Wolverine who chopped off Vulture's head, which you can see right here. Right next to his wings. So it's, it's a hunting display. I told Jeff it shows off my dark sensibilities, my dark side.
Yeah, Wolverine doesn't show up that well. Show where he is right behind Vulture. Yeah, right.
It's right here. Yeah, right. It's kind of hard to see. Yeah, his claws. I moved his claws since then, so it looks like he actually just chopped off his head. Tyler was trying to give me some posing advice. I said, dude, it took me 30 minutes to get them to stand, let alone pose them.
Yeah.
That Wolverine was really hard to stand for some reason. I don't know why. But I really appreciate you sending me those figures. They added to my heroes defeating the villain / hunting display, which I'm really excited about.
Oh, well, you're welcome. I'm glad. Just so you know, Six-Arm Spidey is actually a good guy.
I know. I told Tyler that. I tried to come up with like a alternate universe type thing where he's like a bad Spider-Man from a different universe so I could fit the display. I could think of another way to pose him.
That's good.
And make it match with the display.
I should send you a Morbius so you can reenact Amazing Spider-Man 101.
I mean, in some random dark universe somewhere, there has to be a bad Six-Arm Spider-Man. There just has to be.
Okay, well, if you're happy with that, then I think it's fine.
That's my justification. And I really like that Spider-Man you got me because Tyler and I were talking about this. It's hard to find a good Marvel Legends Spider-Man that's in stock and not going for crazy prices.
Oh, it is?
Right. So I really am excited about that symbiote Spider-Man you sent me. It looks really cool.
Oh, yeah. He might be out of stock.
Yeah, and Omar, I have a bunch of DC McFarlane Batman over here. I have like a Batman multiverse display over here. So I'm starting to get my Marvel Legends going. I want to get a Punisher. And I think that's all I really want over there. A Punisher. I might get the X-23. That's a pretty cool figure too.
Oh yeah, X-23 is good.
I thought about like getting X-23 and having her chopping off Vulture's head. I'm trying to have Wolverine in the background like this, like crossing his arms, like looking at her, like approvingly. I got the ideas flowing.
Yeah, you do. See,
I help Tyler with his displays. He'll FaceTime me and be like, "What should I do with this diorama?"
Yeah, that's the fun of being friends with Tyler. Is he's always ready to talk about toys.
But his dioramas only last for like 2 to 3 days, though. He changes them a lot.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm starting to do too.
Because you used to always have like the same diorama for a couple months at least, right?
Yeah, then I did the Omnidog down one where I fell on the sidewalk and the women were just standing around looking at me.
That's probably your masterpiece.
I think
because
so.
you gave Wolverine the pink cast, which it's funny, but I guess it wasn't accurate to the moment because you didn't have a pink cast when you fell down, but it looks funny though.
Yeah, I did take a picture of Wolverine down without the cast. Then we put the pink cast on him, and now I just left it on him and set him face back down again.
But yeah, I love that display. It's probably the best one you've had. You've had some good ones too. You sent me.
Thank you.
I think you and Tyler enjoy the act of posing more than I do. I enjoy the final product more than the act of actually posing them. I think Tyler actually has a ton of fun with the process of posing them.
This toy talk brings me joy. Yeah, we do like to spend a lot of time posing him and coming up with scenarios and stuff. So that's a lot of the fun.
He sent me a bunch of pictures. Like, you could do this, you could do that. I'm like, dude, it took me 30 minutes to get them to stand up. I don't think I could do this.
You should use. Well, I have the stuff that if you put it on wood or anything else, it sticks to the figure's feet and it won't pull off the finish of the wood. So that's what I use a lot to pose.
Okay.
Flat-footed figures. Like Psylocke's hard to pose because she's got flat feet and you can't really.
Just like me.
Do you have flat feet?
I do. My back used to kill me in high school when I played basketball and ran every day.
Oh my goodness.
And ever since then, since I don't work out, I felt great. Ever since I stopped working out, I feel better.
Oh. That is a lesson learned.
Antithetical to what you would think. But I'm actually pretty happy with how the figures are posed now. I like the Daredevil. I was able to get him to stand while he's kind of like in a crouch position, which was hard, but I think it was worth it.
Yeah. Well, as long as you're happy, that's what matters.
Yeah, posing the Marvel Legends is a lot easier than the DC McFarlane figures. I think the McFarlane figures look better, but I totally get the appeal to Marvel Legends because they're more fun to pose and more articulation is available there.
Well, I think McFarlane's have more articulation because they have.
So?
Huh?
Well, I think because you can kind of see the articulation points more on Marvel Legends. You can't see them as much on the McFarlane figures.
Yeah, one thing they have that Marvel doesn't is the articulated toe, which makes it easier to pose them.
Right.
That is key.
And Liam, both Jess and I have the Hellbat figure. He's asking if the wings fall out easily. The wings have never fallen out for me in the past 5 months I've had it.
And I got mine just after Taylor did, and he's been quiet. His wings are fine.
I think that's my favorite figure that I have. I love that figure.
The Hellbat?
It's such a cool figure. For only $20, it's really worth the price.
It's a lot of material in there, yeah. He is cool. Elvis has asked this question twice, so he must really want an answer.
I think I know what your answer is going to be.
Those are like two of the best ever.
If you want to hear more about Peanuts, watch our John Arcudi interview where he waxed poetic about Peanuts and his time working with Charles Schultz. That was a great part of the episode. I know Jess loved in particular.
He's still my favorite guest.
And we've had a lot of great ones too, so that's saying something.
Yeah. I felt more at ease with him. Maybe it was all the swear words.
I think also we've been doing it longer. I mean, like Greg Rucka was one of our first interviews. So that was kind of like intimidating right off the bat, you know. Kind of big on my best. And he's talking to one of my favorite writers of all time with our third interview. I was oh gosh.
Yeah, John Arcudi was great. I'm going to go with the early years of Peanuts, like 1950 through 1975.
I read Peanuts was growing up, but I have to go with Calvin and Hobbes. I had all those paperbacks. I read it all the time. I think as a 90s kid, Calvin and Hobbes was just more in the cultural zeitgeist at that time. I think it was like the comic strip of that time.
Yeah.
People my age. I think Calvin and Hobbes was the comic strip like how it was for Jess back in the 60s.
Yeah, I think you're right. And N-Man 40 likes us talking about scenarios and playing with figures. Thank you, N-Man. Let's see. That's right, Little Hater Kid. Is that who you are, Sam Cluxon? Do you have Little Hater Kid tattooed on you? Because if you have Little Hater Kid tattooed on you, I know who this is finally.
And Marcelo Ramos liked our Mark Waid interview the best.
Oh, yeah, he was great.
The only thing I didn't like about that interview is that for some reason he couldn't hear me for the first 5 minutes. And that was kind of awkward, and I felt kind of embarrassed. For the first minute, I just sign out and come back. I remember in the pre-show before we recorded, I made a joke and he didn't laugh at all, and I thought he thought it was not funny at all. But it turns out he just couldn't hear me. I remember it was dead silent. I was like, ooh. I was like, oh man, but it's like it wasn't his fault. He just couldn't hear me.
I don't remember that.
So Sam Cluxton isn't who you think he is.
Oh, he says he has no tattoos. How do I know you're telling the truth? Well, he hasn't lied before. Okay. You think I said Calvin and Hobbes over Peanuts? It's possible, but I don't know.
It goes to show how close they are, I guess, for you.
Yeah, I encourage you to watch every single one of my videos and see if you can find it.
I think it's also, I think Calvin and Hobbes is more varied in what they do. Like he has like the different made up characters that he writes stories for. He has the spaceman. He has the private detective. Yeah, he has the private detective. Do you remember what his name was? I can't remember.
Oh.
If anyone can remember in the chat, who's the private detective that Calvin acts as? My favorite by far as a kid were the snow comic strips where he would make those snow monsters, and they were so funny. My favorite one,
violent.
My favorite book that I had was like a winter themed Calvin and Hobbes, and it had all those like snow monster ones, and I loved them so much. I used to try to make some of them in the yard, and it was impossible.
They're all dinosaur biting off the heads of the snowmen and stuff. It was so great.
I think I was able to relate more to Calvin than Charlie Brown, maybe.
Probably. So if you could, we have 58 people in the chat. So if you could leave us a like, it helps us in the YouTube algorithm. If somebody is searching for tangents and we have a lot of likes, then we'll pop up to the top. So please give us a like.
Here's a good question, Jess. On the topic of comic book strips, while we're already on a tangent, let's go down another tangent.
Okay.
What is like the most overrated comic book strip that you just never got? Like a lot of people really like it, and you just never got into it.
Comic strip?
Yeah, comic strip.
That's a good question. Comic strip that everybody liked and I never understood it. Well,
I think the Family Circus was always lame. I never liked Ziggy either very much.
You know, I know exactly what you mean. I used to like the comic books, but not the comic strip, and that's Dennis the Menace.
Okay, I remember that movie with Walter what's his name? Walter Matthau.
Yeah.
Remember that movie with Christopher Lloyd? He's like the homeless man who like kidnaps him. That was a weird movie.
I never watched that movie. I liked Dennis the Menace comic books a lot, but I never thought Dennis the Menace was funny as a single panel.
I used to like Zitz. I used to like reading that.
Oh, Zitz is great. Let's see. Michael Cleveland, name checks. Whoops. Kathy. Yeah, Kathy was described by a famous cartoonist looking like string dropped on the floor and someone Xeroxed it.
I do hate that. What would she always say? Blah. Is that what she used to always say?
And what was her boyfriend's name? Her lame boyfriend. Lloyd Wong just like Dilbert. Garfield.
Are you a Far Side guy?
Oh yeah, I have the VHS tapes. I need to get them on CD form.
Was there a cartoon?
Oh yeah, they're so good.
There's a cartoon of Far Side? I didn't know that.
2. Far Side 1 and 2. Yeah.
Is it a TV show or like a movie?
It was like a half-hour TV show that aired back in the early 90s.
I've never heard of this.
Let me look it up on Amazon.
Yeah, I think the ones I used to really like was Calvin and Hobbes, Peanuts, Garfield I used to like as a kid. I used to like Zitz. I also wasn't into Dilbert very much because I didn't really get it as a kid. I'm sure it was funnier as an adult, but I just didn't really get into Dilbert as a young child. And Far Side was great, but that wasn't in the newspaper though, right?
Far Side was in the newspaper.
I don't remember it in the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, but maybe it was there.
Well, where did you see it? In book form?
Yeah, we used to have and also calendars. We used to have like those calendars for every day.
Yeah.
Far Side cartoon.
He started out in newspaper strips. Wait a sec. Far Side TV show. Gary Larson.
Psycho Cleveland says you can YouTube the Far Side cartoon.
What's that?
Psycho Cleveland says you can YouTube the Far Side cartoon.
Oh, okay.
I'll have to watch that if the show's over. Here's a good question from Dylan Byrne. What's your most anticipated DC or Marvel movie or TV show this year? And also, what do you think? Well, Jess hasn't seen Wonder Woman 84, so we won't talk about that.
Yeah, please don't talk about it. I'm watching that with my wife this week.
The first part of that question, Jess, is there one that you're anticipating the most?
Movie?
Could be a movie or a TV show from either Marvel or DC.
What besides Wonder Woman is coming out from DC besides the 4-hour Zack Snyder cut on HBO?
Yeah, there's a Zack Snyder cut. There is a rumored Batman animated series sequel series, and if that is correct, then 2021 might be the best year ever for me. As long as it's good, as long as they bring back the original team, as long as they bring back Bruce Timm and Paul Dini and Glenn Murakami and the rest of them, I'll be happy.
I can't think of another DC live action movie.
Well, Wonder Woman was last year. It wasn't even this year.
Yeah.
Oh, the Suicide Squad.
That's actually, it's got a good director. It's got Harley.
It's rated R, too.
I want to see that.
Did you know it's rated R?
Good. That means it's going to be good.
I really do want to see Black Widow.
Oh, shoot. Wonder Woman's leaving tomorrow?
Yeah.
Blah.
You're going to have to watch it tomorrow.
Okay, wait.
Well, good thing for you, the football season for the Rams is over, so at least you have time.
What kind of thing is that to say to me, jerk?
As somebody who doesn't care about football, I didn't mean it as a bad thing. I meant it as a good thing. That you have more time to spend on it.
Yeah, I think you knew exactly what you were saying.
I really didn't, but all right. I meant it as a good thing. You have more free time now.
Yeah. Okay. Wonder Woman 84 is leaving.
Does it mean it's leaving tomorrow, or like it'll be there tomorrow?
It'll be there tomorrow.
Yeah, I would. You should definitely watch it then.
Yeah.
Just tell your wife you have to watch it.
I didn't hate Blondie, but it was always the same situation with Dagwood every strip. I agree with that. Farsight is just a Kathy spinoff? No, that's wrong. Sorry, Arya, you're thinking about something else. Farsight was the most twisted, interesting, greatest single panel comic ever.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to Black Widow. I really look forward to. I'm looking forward to all the Marvel TV shows. I mean, Loki should be interesting. I think Falcon and Winter Soldier will be cool. I'm looking forward to all that. And I was telling my wife today, I'm actually excited that the Disney Marvel shows and the Star Wars shows are 30 to 40 minutes long. I'm kind of getting tired of the hour-long episodes for shows. I like it a little more streamlined and there's not as much fluff. I think now that I'm a father who has less time, it's nice to only have a 30 to 40 minute episode to watch a week, as opposed to an hour-long thing that's overstuffed.
Oh, I misunderstood area. Sorry. No, you don't have to apologize to me. I thought you were serious. Okay. Peace and love. Peace and love. Everything's cool.
It's easy to misconstrue things on comments. It's hard to, sometimes you don't have enough context.
Yeah.
Yeah, Godzilla versus Kong comes out this year.
That's a miss for me.
Yeah, John Arcudi wasn't too excited about that either. He's a big Godzilla guy.
Yeah.
I've never been a Godzilla fan, really. I used to rent some of the old school Japanese Godzilla movies, and those were fun. I remember seeing the old 1998 Godzilla movie with Matthew Broderick. Man, that was a bad movie.
It had a good soundtrack, but that's all I liked.
I remember walking out, and there was a massive thunderstorm as we were in the theater. And we walk out, and there was like tree branches and trees all over the place. And it was like, wow, this storm is as bad as that movie was. I remember thinking that as a kid, as like an 8-year-old kid.
Okay, and Michael Eamon is apologizing ahead of time.
He's pre-apologizing.
Okay.
I love the Curb Your Enthusiasm where Larry does something bad, and so he apologizes. He offends the head of NBC because they want to do a Seinfeld reunion, and he says, "No, we're not going to do it. We're canceling it." And so he goes in and apologizes, and he goes, "What kind of an apology is that?" He's like, "Can I apologize for the apology?" No, you can't apologize for an apology.
I saw Shin Godzilla. I thought that was good.
Did you watch Kong Skull Island?
No, but it looked fun, but I didn't see it.
Did you watch the King Kong from 2005 by Peter Jackson with Jack Black in it? Okay.
With what?
With Jack Black was in it, and who else was in it? Oh, what's her name? Oh, Naomi Watts was in it.
No.
Okay.
Elizabeth Olsen was in the Godzilla 2014 movie. I'll watch that.
Now that was a boring movie. Godzilla was in it for like 5 minutes at the end.
Well, considering I'm watching it for Elizabeth Olsen, that's probably a good thing.
You could save yourself some time and just look up Elizabeth Olsen clips from the Godzilla.
Okay.
Save yourself some time and just watch those parts.
Sure.
Did you ever watch my favorite movie with her besides Avengers, Infinity War, and Endgame is Wind River with Jeremy Renner? That's a great crime movie. Awesome movie. It's about like a murder on an Indian reservation.
Ooh, let me write that down.
It's by one of my favorite screenwriters of all time, and he directed it too. The guy who wrote Sicario and Hell or High Water. That's also one of the best crime movies in the past 10 years.
Okay, what's it called again?
Wind River.
Wind?
Yes, Wind River.
When did it come out?
3 years ago? 2 years ago? I can't remember.
That. Okay, I will definitely watch that.
It's a really good movie.
And here's Kenny Crayley. How's it going, Kenny? Okay. I know she was in a movie. Wasn't she in a no, that's Brie Larson that I'm thinking of.
She was in a movie with Aubrey Plaza called Ingrid Goes West or something. I think it's like a comedy. I can't remember. I think that's what it's called. I remember hearing that was good. Yeah, Ingrid Goes West, the drama comedy. Her and Aubrey Plaza. And I think you like Aubrey Plaza, right? You liked her.
Yeah, from Legion, yeah.
So you've pretty much only seen Elizabeth Olsen in Avengers movies.
Yeah.
Okay. I think you'll really dig Wind River. That's a great movie.
Okay.
I think it's one of the best crime movies of the past decade, in my opinion.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I love that writer, Taylor Sheridan, not just because his name is Taylor. That's pretty cool, though. But he directed Wind River. He wrote Sicario, that drug cartel movie. That was fantastic. Hell or High Water is probably the best crime movie of the past 10 years with Chris Pine. That's Jeff Bridges. That was a fantastic movie.
Wait a minute. Is that the one where Chris Pine's a bank robber?
Yeah.
I really hated that movie.
Oh, wow. That's hard to believe, but okay. I love that movie.
Both my wife and I turned that movie off about 2/3 of the way through.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Just wasn't, it sounded great. And I like Chris Pine a lot because I like him in Star Trek. You're
the first person I've ever heard who said they disliked that movie. Interesting.
Yeah, it just didn't click with me. That's it. It just didn't click with me.
And you love Jeff Bridges too. He was fantastic in that movie. He got nominated for an Academy Award in that movie.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It just didn't. Are
you someone who did you like No Country for Old Men?
It wasn't my favorite Coen Brothers movie, but I liked it.
So I kind of put those as similar type movies.
Really?
Kind of like the neo-noir Western type of movie. They're kind of a little more nihilistic in their tone and with their message. I think they're I think they're both somewhat similar, comparable movies.
I thought No Country for Old Men was one of the darkest, bleakest movies I've ever seen.
I think that's one of the best movie villains of all time. Anton Chigurh by Javier Bardem. That's one of the best movie villains. If you really think about it, there aren't a lot of great movie villains. It's kind of hard to list off a really strong list. Like Darth Vader is obviously number one. But I think he's one of the top 5 best movie villains of all time. He is a chilling bad guy.
No question. No question.
Looking at Michael Eamon's comment about Aubrey Plaza.
This is interesting. Tough choice for Taylor.
Batman. That's not a tough choice.
Oh.
I love Daredevil. He's my second favorite, but Batman's always been my favorite because I love Batman since I can remember. I didn't really get into Daredevil until I was a teenager. So,
Okay.
and there's also not a cartoon that I can look back to as a kid for Daredevil. He did show up in the Spider-Man animated series for like 2 or 3 episodes. That was pretty cool.
Daredevil did?
Yeah.
Okay. The honest answer is I don't watch any of them because I don't watch anything.
Yeah, I don't think Jess really listens to any of my recommendations.
No, I just wrote that one down.
No, I mean, I don't think you've really watched any of my recommendations yet.
No, I haven't. I haven't watched.
I would take it as a slap in the face if you actually watch movies, but since you don't, I don't feel bad about it.
Yeah, I rarely watch them. I can't think of the last movie I watched.
Me and Tyler did bully you into watching Mandalorian, and see how that worked out for you.
So what's that?
Me and Tyler made you watch The Mandalorian. Remember?
Yeah.
You were banking it for a while. We said you have to watch it right now. Don't wait any longer.
Yeah.
So he listened to me there. Oh, you also listened to me about Batman animated series. The main reason you're watching that was me. So there's that.
Yeah, I'm digging that.
Are you gonna start watching that on HBO Max now instead of the Blu-rays?
Yeah.
That'll be easier.
Much easier.
But I like having the Blu-ray though.
Yeah.
Especially the collector's edition that I have. I love that one.
Yeah, they came with a pop.
But that was Batman Beyond. Well, they both did actually.
They both did.
Yeah, they both did. But do you have the special collector's edition for the animated series, the first one?
I think I got what you got, the one with
the
pop.
Okay, cool.
I got that and Batman Beyond with the pops, and sold the pops.
Sam Cluxon, we're on the same page. I do love What About Bob as well. That's one of my favorite comedy movies. My wife and I just watched one of our favorites the other day, Step Brothers.
I love that movie.
Like Step Brothers and Anchorman are definitely in the top 3.
Yep. I think Anchorman might have been the last movie I watched. I saw it again like the pandemic slowed down for a little bit. My movie buddy came over maybe in the fall sometime, and I think we watched Anchorman.
I think Anchorman's still my favorite of the two because I have more nostalgia for it, but I think I laugh more at Step Brothers consistently throughout the entire movie. But they're both really close.
Yeah.
And Kenny Crayley, I did see the trailer for Superman and Lois. It looks interesting. It's just hard for me to invest in a CW series because the seasons are so long and there's so many filler episodes. But I'll give it a chance. I think I'm just gonna watch that because I don't think it's tied up into any other TV shows right now. Because I think his story takes place in the same universe as Supergirl, but Supergirl's ending, so they're not gonna. I don't have to keep track of 2 shows. So if I only have to watch Superman and Lois, I'll give it a chance.
Chase Chu, Jenny got a new job and got too busy to keep doing it. And she was actually what made the show interesting. Quite frankly, she had a really good perspective and was very interesting. And she loves horror movies. Like that's her hobby, is watching 2 or 3 a day. And without her, I really didn't have a horror show because she was the show. So if she ever wants to do it, the door's always open. But now with the pandemic and her job, and she's married to Chat Omnidog, that's kind of a lot for one woman to handle. So
yeah, that has to be difficult being married to him. Well, the thing is, I think all of the shows you do with all of us is so tied up into the relationship on screen between both people, so you can't really replace somebody.
I wouldn't do it without Jenny. It wouldn't be the same.
It wouldn't be Baturdays in the Batcave without me on the show. It wouldn't be Omnidog and T-Bone without Tyler. It wouldn't be Omnidog and Omnicat without Kristen. So once the person's done, the show's kind of over.
Yeah. Yeah, she was the key to that show being interesting.
And Jess, where are you on Invincible? Elvis Parker wants to know our thoughts on Invincible. I think you read a couple of the hardcovers, right?
I'm on book 3 now, and so far it's good.
I read the first one a while back, and I really enjoyed it. I need to get the rest of the hardcovers because I want to read a decent chunk before the show comes out in March. So the trailer looked really good, and the clip looks really good.
Oh, yeah.
Michael Emond, I have just the right amount of action figures, not too many. If it was up to Tyler and Jess, I'd have a lot more figures. That's for sure.
Let's see. And Chase Chu loves Howard the Duck. Is that true?
Did you see that in theaters when it came out, Jess?
No.
Did you watch it though?
No.
Man, how do you skip all the bad movies?
I don't know. I get lucky. I would give Superman and Lois a chance. It's only 13 episodes, Kenny says.
Yeah, the big thing was that, like, for a while, the Flash, Arrow, Supergirl, and Legends of Tomorrow were kind of all crossed over at some points.
Right.
You kind of had to keep up with all of them at the same time. And that's when it just kind of ended for me. I'm like, I can't do this anymore. I can't keep up with all these shows. But I think if I can keep up with 13 episodes.
Yeah, I might give it a shot.
And as I told Jess, I think I've said in the show before, I mean, I really only have like a really 2-hour window of like me time. Once Sam goes to bed and once Kate goes to bed, I have like 2 hours from 10 to 12 of like, I can watch something, I can read something, I can play something. I usually opt out of watching or playing something. I usually read something. That's just kind of been my focus lately. Even though I do watch stuff, I definitely have been reading more than I've been watching. And that's kind of been Jess's default mode for 4 years now, I think. And IQ, no, this won't be the tangent record. I think last time was our tangent record of 1 hour and 15 minutes or so. But this is pretty good, though. 15 minutes. Lloyd Wong has a very good point, Jess, at 7:45.
About the Oreos?
Yes. I do like Oreos with milk, without milk, though. I like both.
Yeah, I'll take my Oreos either way.
Don't you think Oreos taste very different without the milk? I feel like they taste like totally different with milk versus without milk. It's like a different taste.
Well, I like to dunk my Oreos in the milk and then take the bite. So, yeah.
What I'm saying is without the milk, I think Oreos taste different than when you dunk them.
Yeah.
It's a totally different taste for me.
Yeah, I like them dunked in the milk. But
you ever done it with chocolate milk before?
I also like getting double stuffs and unscrewing one cookie and like making a big, huge double stuffed cookie and trying to eat it.
I won't even eat regular Oreos. All I get is double stuff now. They're so much better.
Yeah. And
Mega stuff is too much for me, though.
What is?
Mega stuff. That's way too much for me.
I like 12 triple stuffed. That's why I unscrew the cookies and make a
I think double stuff are perfect. You ever have it with whole chocolate milk? That's really good.
Oh my gosh, I can't remember the last time I had chocolate milk.
Chocolate milk's the best. Someone ever tells you a kid's drink, just laugh in their face.
What's that?
Someone ever tells you it's a kid's drink, just laugh in their face.
I like Yoo-hoo.
Ew, that's gross to me. Whole chocolate milk is where it's at.
Okay. Felix, we haven't seen Wonder Woman 84.
I have, but I'm not going to say anything because Jess hasn't seen it.
I'm seeing it tomorrow with my wife. I just got a text from her. We're watching it tomorrow.
Just make sure you start it before 10 o'clock. Otherwise, they'll jump out of your queue as you're watching it. That would suck to start at 10 o'clock and right at midnight. When there's 30 minutes left, it's just over. Well, Jess, you did have an Oreo show at one point.
One of my early shows was
One
Oreo.
of your more popular shows, I'm guessing.
What's that?
One of your more popular shows, I'm guessing.
I got a lot of comments on it.
It was more popular than the Pop-Tart tasting episode of Omnibus.
That was Omnibus, and that was Riley's idea.
And, well, that was more popular than the Mad Libs episode.
Oh, that was a disaster.
I tuned in for the whole thing.
We needed more than 2 people to make that work, and it was just a disaster.
To be honest, I was like, why am I watching this? But I stuck with it.
I was really unhappy doing that.
I feel like it's funny. I feel like ever since I had Sam 15 months ago, I feel like I'm much more protective of my time. I'm not gonna waste time on a book I don't like anymore. I won't if I'm like not digging it at all halfway through. I kind of want to be done with it, or a movie or a TV show. But back then, I was like, I have all the time in the world. I had no kid, I had no responsibilities. This is great.
If you go back to maybe within the first 10 videos I did, Chase Chew, I tasted 15 different Oreos. Some of them I had to order from eBay. There was like key lime Oreos, Easter. There was a Peeps Peeps Oreo, apple pie Oreo, lemon meringue Oreo. So there was 15 of them, and after about 10, my tongue went numb and I couldn't taste anything. It just.
I was talking to somebody about gobstoppers today. Remember gobstoppers, and your mouth would bleed when you were done with it.
Yeah.
Kids today are not strong enough for gobstoppers. Kids today are such snowflakes they can't even eat gobstoppers anymore. They probably even sell them anymore.
Here's a question for you.
Yeah, I've read 2 novels so far this year. I read Suspect by Robert Crace. It's a great crime book about a canine officer and his dog. That was a fantastic book, which I really enjoyed. I think every dog lover should read that book. It was talking about the connection that every dog owner has, especially a canine officer with their canine, because they're with each other 24/7. And I've just started dipping my toes into John le Carre novels. Do you ever read him, Jess, back in the day? I just read the first George Smiley book. I'm hoping to read The Spy Who Came In From the Cold and Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy. I've never watched that or seen the movie. Never read the book or seen the movie. So I'm really enjoying. I'm kind of in an espionage spy binge right now. I read a bunch of James Bond comics. I just started rereading this today. This is a great book.
Yeah.
And then I'm reading some John le Carre stuff. So I'm in a spy binge right now.
I need to read some James Bond. I know I got to read the Andy Diggle books for our interview.
Oh yeah, so we do have an interview with Andy Diggle coming up this week, everybody. So be on the lookout for that. We're looking forward to that chat. I'm loving these James Bond books, by the way.
Yeah,
I'm excited to read all. We want to do a crime corner. I think we want to do more crime corners on the James Bond books because there's so many of them. We can't review them all at once. We did the Warren Ellis books already, so hopefully we can do a part 2 and 3 coming up soon.
We've both got them all, right?
I don't have them all yet. I'm getting close though. I just read the Black Box by Ben Percy and the 2 volumes of Origin by Jeff Parker. And I've already read the Andy Diggle ones.
Jeff Parker's great.
That was the first thing by him I've ever read, and I was really impressed.
Oh, The Collector. It's because Taylor Brown is awesome at hunting down people and barraging them with emails until they say yes to just get them off their back. It's
probably I would say 75% people just don't respond or they say no. No one's ever been rude about it, but you do have to cast a wide net and just, I don't want to say pester and annoy people, but yeah, pretty much that. You want to annoy them at just the right pace. You don't want to pester them too much and send emails every day. I'll send an email every like once a month for people who will kind of kick the can down the road. So I don't want to be too annoying.
It took me a year to get Mark Waid on the show.
Yeah, so definitely take credit for that because I had nothing to do with Mark Waid. That was all you.
That was all me, but I touched base with him at Baltimore and he agreed. And it took a year because he's super busy. He's incredibly busy with his Humanoids comics line. But he was a good guy. He wedged us in between meetings and
he gave us more time than he initially said he would. So that was really cool too.
Yeah.
He gave us what, maybe 25 minutes?
25, 40.
He gave us 45 minutes. So
yeah.
That was a big deal for him, I think.
Yeah.
He wants to come back too. So eventually we'll get him back on the show. We'll have to try out like a year from now.
Yeah, he's one of those guys with great stories like John Arcudi and Greg Rucka.
Well, I think our favorite part of the interview is him talking about how he used to have a house across the street just for his toys and his comics. I think that was the coolest part of the interview, at least for me.
Yeah, oh yeah. That was when he said he lived in Indiana and he bought the house for 10 grand.
Now he lives in California, where that's not going to be possible.
Right.
The most expensive state in the country, I would assume, is California.
I think you're probably right. Let's see. Cade Riley actually had a good question, I think, earlier. Here we go. Do you guys find, in your experience, when reading Omnibus, you try to go straight through or you take a break and read other books too? I have found myself getting overwhelmed at times. That's a good question.
I think we answered a similar question a couple weeks ago. I think it really depends on what the Omnibus is.
Yeah.
There's some Omnibus that are such a quick, breezy read, you don't need to take a break. Like, I'm thinking of the Wolverine by Mark Millar Omnibus. You can bang that out in a weekend, I would think. That's a really quick read. Something like even The Authority, I read that super quick. That was an easy book to just plow through.
I read The Authority in a day when it first came out. Yeah.
Those are really quick reads. But again, even something like Hickman, which is so dense, like Avengers, you don't really want to take breaks because you'll forget stuff, and there's so much going on.
You can't take breaks with Avengers or Fantastic Four because there's so many high concepts going on. If you step away for more than half a day, if you don't keep reading it every day, you will forget where you are, and I think you will forget what's been happening.
I think this question even extends beyond Omnis and going to long form series. I don't like if there's like a 60-issue series, I don't like to just bang out the whole series and read it all at once. I'll take chunks and read it at a time. I start getting burned out after a while. So I try to, if I can, but something like Hickman, I can't do that. If it's something that's not too mentally strenuous, I like to read other books, smaller books in between that series.
Well, I read Paper Girls 1 through 3 in a day, in 3 hours. And that was easy. Then I tackled East of West 1 through 3. That took me like 8 hours and got so imprinted on my brain. I'm not kidding. It got so imprinted on my brain. The next comic I looked at, the characters all looked like Dragota's his drawings in East of West. And I couldn't read the comic because it all looked like East of West to me. So I had to give myself a break.
That needs to be one of my next reads. I need to read Paper Girls and East of West. I've loved what I've read so far, but now that I finally have all the books, I have to do that. And maybe we'll see an appearance of those books on Best of 2020. Who knows? Whenever that video comes out.
Yeah.
Don't want to spoil it.
Well, you kind of did.
No, I didn't. I don't know what's on there for you. You didn't tell me.
I know.
All I can see is what you rate things on Goodreads. That's all I can see.
Yeah. And those are true. Those are true to life. I just read a couple things that I did not like, and I gave them
Strike Force. Was it Strike Force or something?
Yeah.
That series didn't look very interesting whenever I saw the premise, and I was like, I can understand why he didn't like it. It didn't sound too interesting to me.
Well, it has Spider-Woman, Angela, Blade, Bucky Barnes. Who else does it have in it?
Now we need a really official Blade series coming out. Now that they're gonna make that movie,
yeah,
there needs to be a Blade. When was the last time there was a Blade main series? I can't even remember.
No, it had Damon Hellstrom in it, Monica Rambeau, Wiccan. I mean, those are all interesting characters. And that, but
Bucky Barnes seems like a random addition to that.
Yeah,
all magic characters or supernatural. Then Bucky Barnes is there.
Yeah, 2 stars.
That's too bad.
I know. I was really excited for it too.
That's a good question, Felix. Who do we think should write the Blade comic book series? I think that's the obvious answer for everything at Marvel. Donny Cates. Who's a good horror writer? Ooh, you know who I would like to see? Cullen Bunn. That would be cool. He does. I don't think he's done Marvel stuff for a little bit, but I'm sure he'd come back for that. That'd be cool. Cullen Bunn would be interesting. I think he's one of my favorite horror writers. Harrow County's hard to beat.
Yeah, I agree. I hate to break up this tangent party, but it's almost 8 o'clock, and I think we should probably get going on our
Topic.
what are we? What's our topic?
Our most anticipated collected editions of 2021.
Oh yeah,
I did tell my wife we wouldn't go way too long tonight, so that's a good point, Jess. So thank you.
Okay.
All right, so I'll share my screen.
Okay.
Let's get it ready.
Wait, here's one quick question from the collector: Batman Universe or Batman Mythology next read? I know what Taylor's gonna say.
Batman Mythology is my favorite Batman book ever, so there's that.
Yeah, I loved Batman Universe, but I agree with him on Batman Mythology. It's awesome.
All right, so let me know if you can see what I'm showing here.
Yep.
All right, because whenever I have it on full screen, all I can see is this image. So just let me know. All right, so this is the one one of the ones I'm looking forward to the most, the Martini edition Last Call. And I've never read any of this material because all I have is the first Martini edition. I think, Jess, you have the smaller hardcovers that makes up this book.
Not anymore.
Well, you read it probably, right?
Yeah, a long time ago, though.
And I can't imagine that it's poor material. I'm sure it's fantastic stories. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, it was as good as his first stories.
And there's going to be an 18-page story from Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips. So that'll be really interesting. I'm really looking forward to that. This is the first original story of a Donald Westlake, Richard Stark character that wasn't written by him ever. So that's a pretty big deal. I remember Ed Brubaker saying that he was really relieved whenever his wife said he could write a story in this universe because he was worried about it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because nobody else has touched these characters. Like Darwin Cook, pretty much all the words in these books are from the novels. Like he didn't write anything; he just adapted into pictures.
Mm.
So all the words are from Richard Stark's pen. So Ed Brubaker is the first person to put words in a Richard Stark character's mouth. Richard Stark. That's a pretty big deal.
That is. It is self-contained. Yeah. You can get either the first Martini edition or the second one. They're both different and both self-contained. And yes, Sam Cluxon, I do get tired of being chased by paparazzi. Thank you.
Well, whenever you've gone to conventions, Jess, have people recognized you?
Oh, yeah. Actually, I do get recognized a lot at conventions. This one family from England recognized me.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I love the Martini edition that I have. My only gripe is that I wish it was a tiny bit smaller so it could fit on my Kallax. It's the only book in my collection that won't fit on a Kallax shelf. But that's a pretty small gripe. The rest of the book's great.
Yeah.
So this was originally supposed to come out last year, but because of the pandemic, it got pushed back. And then it was February, and now it's May 21st. So let's just hope it comes out on May 21st. And all the dates I'm using here, I mostly use previews, the Previews World page. There were some I had to look at comic releases. Your friend's website. What's his name again? Is it Chris?
Chris Park House.
And that's a great website for those of you who haven't looked at it yet. It's a great streamlined website to show you when books are coming out so you can budget accordingly.
Yeah, comicreleases.com is where I go to get any information about future releases. He's done an excellent job on that website. And
we're about to discover that April's going to be a brutal month for all of us. That's what I found out when I made this PowerPoint. There's a lot of good stuff coming out in April, and I was too lazy to arrange by date, so it's kind of we're going to see what happens with each pick. So we're kind of putting in all of our picks together in one pot here, but there's a lot of overlap with the books that we're excited about. Parker is one of them. So let's go to the next one. World of Blackhammer Volume 2, and there's Volume 3 as well coming out this year. So that's awesome. So we have one coming out in a couple weeks on February 10th. Jess, have you read either of these stories yet?
I've read them both, yeah.
Were they as strong as the first one, you think?
Yeah, I like them both a lot.
I don't think any story is going to top Dr. Andromeda for me personally.
Yeah, that one hit you in the hind.
Yeah. So that's February 10th and then June 16th. I don't think you read either of these yet because I think they're coming out in singles.
No, I haven't read these. Oh, finally, a hardcover that I haven't read the information. That's awesome.
Yeah, this is probably one of the first Blackhammer ones you didn't have the trades for, and you had to upgrade.
Yeah.
So the World of Blackhammer. And this is probably your number one of the year, right?
It is.
I'm really excited about this. I've only read it on Hoopla, and I can't wait to own it. I actually held out for a long time and didn't buy the trades because I knew this would be an Omni at some point. And I think we have you to thank for this omnibus, right, Jess?
I lobbied long and hard with Omar for this, so he may take credit, but I really get credit for this.
And this is the year of no upgrading for Jess. So everyone, this speaks to the quality of the book that Jess is going to upgrade.
Yep.
And this is the year of Jess saying he's not going to upgrade. We'll see what actually happens, though.
I am not going to upgrade. I am upgrading this, but
there is one coming up. I think you said you're not going to upgrade, but I think you probably will. But there's one other one I think you're going to upgrade this year.
Okay.
So April 21st is the all-new Wolverine Omnibus. You have to read this book. Everyone has to read it. This is one of the best Marvel books in the past 5 to 10 years, I would say.
I agree 100%.
Did you read the X-23 follow-up? Was it by Mariko Tamaki?
Yeah.
Was that pretty good?
Yeah, I liked it.
So it wasn't as good, but it was solid.
Yes.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
All right, it's April 21st. Next on our list, I am... Anytime an Ed Brubaker book comes out, I'm always excited. And I can't talk about Reckless yet because Jess hasn't read it, and we're going to review it sometime soon. But this is the second graphic novel in the Reckless series. So basically, they're going to try to release two. I think they're going to try to release 2 of these a year. I think they have ideas in the pipeline for 5 or 6 graphic novels in this series. So it pretty much follows a private investigator / repo man named Ethan Reckless and his cases that he takes on. And I'm not going to spoil my thoughts on the first one, but I think we can all safely assume that I enjoyed it. Because it's Edward Baker and Sean Phillips. I can't think of one thing by them I haven't enjoyed. Not one thing.
Mm-hmm.
I know Jess and I were talking about doing an Ed Brubaker, Sean Phillips ranking video, and we're like, they're all going to be A's though. they're all going to be like S tier, A tier anyway. I think there's not one that I think the only book from Ed Brubaker you don't enjoy is Deadly Genesis. That has nothing to do with Sean Phillips though.
Well, that really didn't have anything to do with Ed Brubaker either. It was Marvel editorial that messed that up.
But look how gorgeous these these 80s pulpy covers are. I love these covers on these books. They're fantastic. This is just this is a perfect Taylor Brown book. If you want to know what a Taylor Brown book looks like, just pick up a Reckless comic.
Oh, I'm sure everyone wants to know that.
All right, so that's April 28th. That'll come out. I think another one will come out in November or December. I believe Ed Brubaker said in his last newsletter.
Here's a good question. No, that was part of a 2-week brutal beating that I took where all these great trades that I had got announced with hardcover collections, like Skyward and Middle West.
There's one that I don't want you to mention yet because we'll get to it in a couple minutes.
Okay.
That you've already read.
Oh, brother. Gideon Falls. A couple others. I just got really hammered on them.
Well, we always appreciate your sacrifice, even though you're laying down that duty in 2021, I think. I think Jess is refusing to buy any Image trades, and me as well, to be honest.
Yeah. Although, you know, what John Arcudi had to say about Image, I thought was interesting. It didn't sound like it was all up to the creator himself, because we asked about a hardcover for Rumble, and he had an answer that sounded like the decision wasn't 100% his.
Yeah, from what I've heard from most creators is that it's pretty much your own choice. If you want to put the money up front, then go ahead and do it. So yeah, John Arcudi said it's more than just that. It's also Image wanting to do it as well.
Yeah.
They don't want to do it, but they haven't approached him to do one either.
Right.
So I'm not sure exactly how that works. Whenever we get, as we get more creators on who have Image hardcovers, I would love to talk more about that. 'Cause I'm really interested in how that process works because I'm still confused about it.
Yeah,
We've heard conflicting things.
he was the first one that brought in that extra piece that sort of confused us. We always thought it was just the creator's decision.
Right. And Jess, as you can see on this cover, and as I heard in Ed Brubaker's newsletter, this will include an occult storyline.
Oh, goody. Oh, yeah.
You see the pentagram on there.
Yeah, I'm always up for that.
All right, so the next one. Dr. Aphra, the controversial choice for me.
Yeah.
I'm still bitter about this. This is probably the most bitter I've ever been about a collected edition in my entire life.
Where'd you get this picture?
Why?
That's not one of the two cover choices.
I don't know. It was one of the only ones I could find. There weren't many good ones, and this one's pretty blurry. I couldn't find like a good one that had like a crisp picture. This is the best I could do.
You didn't pick. You didn't get it from previews.
This is the picture I think I found on previews. I can't remember where I got it.
Really?
Yeah.
Because there's two choices for the Omni, and that's not one of them, unless they've got a third choice.
Yeah, I'm not sure. But what matters the most is that Dr. Aphra, the Omni, comes out on February 24th, and this may or may not be the cover, but that's when it's coming out, and I'm probably going to end up getting it because I love Dr. Aphra, and nobody will buy the hardcover from me, so maybe I'll just go bury it in my backyard or something. Let Murdoch chew it up or something. Let Sam throw it down the stairs. One of those things.
Yeah,
nobody's gonna want that.
Excited for this. She's great, and it's in really good hands with Cy Spurrier taking over from Kieran Gillen.
Yeah, I think it's the Kieran Gillen and Cy Spurrier stuff, and it's marketed as a volume 1. So I guess they're hoping to do more down the line, but maybe they'll do the same thing they did with the first hardcover. Who knows? And just abandon it. I hope not. All right. Jess and I are both excited about this. The Batman's Grave by Warren Ellis and Brian Hitch, who are famous for their collaboration on Authority, which Jess and I both love.
Yeah.
So I think it's a 12-issue series, so it's a pretty sizable series. And Jess, do you remember this is a hardcover or is it a trade?
I thought it was a hardcover.
Yeah, I can't remember. I think it was kind of confusing for a while. I think they solicited it at first as a trade, but I think it's now a hardcover. I'm really hoping it's a hardcover.
Yeah, I think it is.
I don't think it's a deluxe, though. It's not a deluxe.
I think it's a standard hardcover.
Thanks, DC.
Yeah.
Tell me something David do.
Chris' original recipe didn't dig Dr. Aphra. I'm sorry, Chris. That's too bad. I love Dr. Aphra. I'm sorry you're not digging it.
And I just love BT1. I love 000. That's a fantastic trio right there. Those three characters. It's fantastic.
I love how immoral she is.
And she's hilarious too.
Yeah.
And we did a Star Wars show the other day with Tyler Blunt, and we were talking about we really hope that they bring Dr. Aphra into the Star Wars either animated universe or live action universe. That'd be super cool.
I thought doesn't she have a show?
No.
It didn't get announced?
And remember we talked about this? Ahsoka has a show.
Oh, that's right. We did talk about that. Okay.
I mean, she could have a show down the line, but she doesn't right now.
I bet she does get a show. Because I know that Darth Vader issue 3 has all of a sudden gotten extremely hot on eBay for her first appearance.
Okay.
So there's a lot of speculation on that. And I'm way excited for this book.
This is probably one of the most excited. This is probably one of the ones I'm looking forward to the most. Because, Jess, this is your favorite Batman series of all time so far, you think?
Yes.
And I'm really excited about Volume 3. Jeff Johns wrote this before he started Doomsday Clock, and Gary Frank started on it before Doomsday Clock. So this has been like 4 years in the making or something, which is crazy.
Oh, Marcelo Ramos, I did get a mean comment about Earth 1 Batman. When we were talking about it, Taylor and I did a show about all the Earth 1 books, and I said it was my favorite Batman. And I've been reading Batman for 55 years. And the comment was, if this is your favorite Batman, you haven't read enough Batman. And I think I answered the guy, dude, I've read every Batman there is since 1961. No, since the 40s. I've been reading Batman for 55 years, so shut up.
You haven't been alive since the 40s, but you've read that stuff.
Yeah.
To be clear.
Yeah, thank you.
I didn't want someone to sweep in and make an old joke because I know someone was going to.
Where'd Michael Eamon go? He would have said that.
At this point, the old jokes are low-hanging fruit, everybody. Get more creative.
Well, no one made one, so it's okay.
It usually happens almost every week, so I was trying to preemptively attack it.
Oh, well, thank you.
One of my greatest hopes for this series is that they'll make an absolute of it. That would be awesome. Gary Frank's art deserves more than just a standard size page.
Oh my gosh, I totally agree. Yeah, Sam Cluxon. The first two Earth One books, they just knocked me out.
Especially volume 2. That one's even better than the first one.
Yeah. Yeah. So as much as I love, especially books 3 and 4 of Tom King's run, these Earth One, the first two books, I couldn't believe how great they were.
It's a very different kind of Batman. Like Grant Morrison, Scott Snyder, you kind of see like the Bat God, the Batman who can do anything. And in this one, he makes a ton of mistakes. He's more of a human. Like he steps on evidence when he's talking to Gordon, and Gordon says, "You're not much of a detective, are you?" I just love that kind of stuff. For the first scene, Batman makes a jump to catch a criminal, and he doesn't land it. He falls into a trash. He falls into like a bunch of garbage cans.
Doesn't he fall down like a bunch of stairs, outside stairs, and then ends up in the trash can? Yeah.
He like bangs against like different stuff against the wall, and he falls into the trash cans, and Alfred has to get him, I think. So it's a much different Batman than we're used to seeing.
Yeah.
Both on screen and on the page. Somebody like it's a Batman coming into his own. Like he doesn't even have the Batmobile yet in the first one.
Yeah.
All of his grappling hook breaks the first time he uses it. Like I just really love how it's different because, you know, I feel like over the past several years, there's not as much fresh and inventive books right now with superhero stuff. I need to have fresh, I need to have original to keep these things going. And I feel like Earth One does that in spades.
I agree.
All right, next. And this is one of your picks, Jess.
Yes. I loved Grant Morrison's writing, and I super loved Paquette's drawings. I think Morrison I like Morrison's Wonder Woman better than his Green Lantern.
Have you read his Green Lantern?
Yeah.
You read both? How many hardcovers are there now?
Two. There may be the third one, I think, is solicited for this year.
So you're not enjoying it, or you're just saying it's not as good as this?
I'm enjoying it a lot, but not as much as this Wonder Woman run of his.
Would you say this is your favorite Grant Morrison book?
No. Well, I'll have to think about that.
Okay. Yeah, so I think this
you come up with an answer?
Oh, no. I was waiting for you to say something else.
I think my favorite Grant Morrison book is New X-Men, because that's the book that got me into X-Men.
I think this is one of the top books from the Earth One line that we did. We did a video about that last year. I think for me it was Batman, Green Lantern, then Wonder Woman. And then there's Teen Titans, and way at the bottom of the list is Superman. That was just, oh my gosh, 1 star for me. I can sum up my thoughts of Superman Earth One with this. Lex squared. That's all I have to say.
Oh yeah, that was really
was one of the dumbest things I've ever read in comics. I've read a lot of dumb comics. Lex squared.
Yeah.
That was really lame.
That was pretty lame.
So March 9th is when that comes out. And I'm really looking forward to this. I know Jess and I both love this series, The Immortal Hulk. Have you just read the first hardcover, Jess?
Yeah, I have the first 2, but I've only read the first 1, and I loved it.
I read the first hardcover, and I read a bunch of it on Marvel Unlimited a couple months ago, but I'm definitely not up to date. I'm really looking forward to getting this third hardcover.
I should catch up with it on Marvel Unlimited. It is really good.
I think it's going to be ending around issue 50, if I'm remembering correctly. So I don't think it's going to be around that much longer. So maybe you want to wait until all the hardcovers come out at some point. But I could see why you don't want to wait.
If it's coming out in April, we're almost done with January. I may wait for 3 to come out and then just read 1 over again and read them all.
And so, like, 2 of Marvel's biggest titles are going to be wrapping up somewhat soon with Immortal Hulk, and Donny Cates is going to be done with Venom this year too.
Yeah.
So that those have been Marvel's biggest books the past couple of years. So I wonder what will replace those two.
Here's a good question for you.
Okay, I can't see the comments, so you have to let me know.
Okay, what are your guys' opinions on Batman Eternal?
I didn't read the whole thing. What I read didn't really compel me. I like books that have a consistent team working on it. And with this, it was a weekly book. So there's a bunch of writers and a bunch of artists, and that just wasn't really my jam. I just wasn't really into it. It wasn't bad. It just really wasn't for me, personally. I think Jess liked it more than I did.
I think I liked it a little more than you did. I was reading it weekly back when it was coming out. So yeah, I think I liked it a little more, but I understand exactly what you're saying, and that's a valid opinion. I understand.
But you like Batman and Robin Eternal better, right?
I do, yeah.
But it's a similar series, I think. It's the weekly series with different writers and artists. But I think it was shorter, though, wasn't it?
It was shorter. It was just 2 trades.
I just feel like Batman Eternal was so long. It wasn't it 3 trades? Like 3 thick trades, too, right?
Yeah, it's an omnibus.
Right, but I'm trying to think of those really thick, complete collections they have. Like there's like 3 huge, meaty ones. Then there's that huge omnibus, too.
Yeah. But where is Batman and Robin Eternal? I just had it out to read, and what in the world? Where the heck? Huh.
And Jess, we have 94 people watching right now, but only 40 likes.
Okay, we need 54 more likes, please, people.
And the 2 dislike people, you can go home. Thank you for your patronage. I just love these Marvel OHCs. It's one of my favorite formats. I love the way they look on my shelf too.
I agree.
I love to add more and more of these.
I agree.
To my collection. I think I have a couple more coming in. I have Always an Invader by Chip Zdarsky and the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Mine.
What's that?
That was a trade paperback sacrifice of mine.
Oh, you bought those Guardians of the Galaxy?
Oh no, Invaders.
Oh, okay. I'm really looking forward to that. I've never been let down by Zdarsky so far.
Yeah.
So April 28th is Immortal Hulk. Next. Ooh, look. I have that one on the left. I have that wraparound cover in a print form by Sean Phillips and signed by him. So I love that cover. I love both covers. They're fantastic.
Yeah.
All 3 of these are going to look fantastic on our shelves, Jess.
I'm glad I sold the first 2.
I'm glad they're both coming out the same exact week, too.
Yeah.
I like that decision. They were supposed to come out last year, but the pandemic set them back. I mean, Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips had a ton of books come out last year, too. Like a surprising amount. They had Reckless. They had Volume 3 of Criminal. What else did they have? Cruel Summer and Pulp.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Pulp is the hardcover selling out at this point, but they came out with the trade paperback, though.
Okay.
So I'm really looking forward to this. Jess and I are both going to get this. Again, this is one of the first options we're seeing in April, the brutal month of collected editions.
Yeah, that's true. Wow.
And here's all the death metal stuff, which Jess and I are going to buy and review at some point.
Okay, the date that it comes out. And how many different formats is that?
Oh gosh, I'm pretty sure it's 3 different formats. I think. I think death metal, the main event is a deluxe, and I think I think the rest. Actually, no. I think the other 3 are just trades. I think.
So you got a deluxe and 3 trades?
I think so.
That sounds right.
But with Dark Knight's Metal, it was a deluxe, 2 standard size hardcovers in the trade. Like, what was behind that? At least give us not just give us all hardcovers then, at least.
And that's back when they had a big department. Now
Right.
they don't have anybody in their collected editions department.
Right. And I know that Tyler's chomping at the bit for us to read this series because he wants to talk about it. He's been asking like a bajillion times, have you read it yet? Have you read it yet? And they keep giving the same answer. I'm waiting until they come out in collected edition. I'm not waiting for an omnibus because I don't think there's an omnibus coming out for even the first event.
I know, after I was promised to my face by Scott Snyder that it was.
I wouldn't hold that against him too much. Creators don't have a lot of say over collected editions.
I don't think they have any. So yeah.
I think Hickman and Donny Cates have a lot of say at Marvel. Like Hickman actually designs his collected editions at Marvel. And Donny Cates dictated what issues were in the Absolute Carnage Omni and What's the other Omni he has?
Marvel Cosmos.
Right. So he dictated what goes in each Omni. Not every creator has that kind of power over their books, though.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure DC doesn't give a crap what the creators want. So that's Marvel being nice to some of their creators. I really don't imagine DC even thinking about their creators very much.
No.
I really wish these were all coming out the same week, though. I have to wait a long time to read all of them.
Yeah, we're going to have to wait till May 18th to read it all.
That's really annoying.
I don't like
a dinosaur Batman.
What's that?
There's going to be a dinosaur Batman. I know you're not into dinosaurs, Jess, but that's pretty awesome.
I don't like to disparage things, but it is annoying that we have to wait. Dinosaur Batman, huh? I did just order the Bone Cycle for one of the Batman.
You have to buy the Batman who sits on top of it, though, right?
Yeah.
Separately.
Yeah.
Did you pre-order the Batman with the scythe?
I'm pretty sure I did.
So what they have with that McFarlane line is that Batman with the scythe, the Bone Bat motorcycle, the Wonder Woman. Wait, the Wonder Woman's not in there. I keep forgetting that Wonder Woman is the Mohawk Wonder Woman from last night that's coming out. I keep mixing that up.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so hopefully we'll do a review of this maybe early June. And we're going to do the same exact thing we did for the Dark Knight's Metal event. I'm going to come up with a reading order for that. I personally think my reading order is better than DC's reading order, but I don't want to toot my own horn.
Do you think these are being released out of order?
It's DC, so I would assume that. Assume that they're rolling this out in the worst way possible. Just assume that.
Here's something from Comic Bound. I am guessing most of these death metal books will be a mix of OHC and HC, and one of them will be released as an interpretive dance.
There you go. All right, so next we have Gideon Falls. Jess fell on that grenade for all of us, guys. So everyone give Jess a round of applause. Jess, you were going to buy this hardcover. Come on.
This is the other one you think I'm doing?
Yes. Jess, you have AD After Death. You have Descender. You don't have Royal City, though, do you?
I don't have Royal City. I have that in trades.
But didn't you say on Kristen's show recently that you're thinking of buckling and getting it?
Yeah, I changed it. I'm not doing it.
Okay. Well, this is one of your favorite series, though.
I love this series. And this is part of an answer to Farhan as far as horror. If you were to suggest the top 3 horror comics, what would it be? This is one of them, Gideon Falls. Really solid and scary story, Jess. You should do a top favorite horror graphic novels video. That would be awesome to all the horror fans. Every October, I usually do scary books for Spooktober. So if you want to go back in my library, my vast library videos, every October I did spooky books. And I think I did one last October. But I can do another one of just horror books. If I haven't already, I feel like I have.
I think you've done a couple horror videos. You usually do them around Halloween.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a lot more you haven't talked about. There's a lot of horror books out there.
Yeah. Okay.
I love the first 2 trades of this that I read on Hoopla, and so I'm just waiting for the hardcovers to come out. I'll wait for both of them to come out and then just read them at once.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's really warped and really creepy.
I really need to read Lemire and Sorrentino's Wolverine Old Man Logan series. I still can't believe that's not an omnibus yet.
I can't either. I've got like 11 issues, 11 trades of that. How's that?
That was a really popular series too.
Yeah.
And Wolverine's always a easy omnibus to sell to people.
Yeah.
He has so many. Would you think, I mean, besides like Spider-Man, he probably has the most omnis, right?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
That's it? I thought he would have more than that.
Well, he's got Wolverine, the first one, the Frank Miller and Chris Claremont stuff. Then Weapon X, The Return, Wolverine by Mark Miller, Wolverine by Jason Aaron, Wolverine Goes to Hell, and Wolverine and the X-Men.
Well, I would say Spider-Man and Wolverine are Marvel's most popular characters. That seems like a shoe-in for an Omni.
Spider-Man has a ton of Omnis.
Well, he's Marvel's most popular character by far, but I think Wolverine's second. I don't know who would be third though.
Daredevil has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If you include Elektra, 9. Otherwise 8. But then 9 for 9 and 10 for Mark Waid. And then isn't Charles Soule's Daredevil getting an Omni?
Yeah, he's getting an Omni.
So that's like 11.
I would have put that on here, but I just don't want to sell all the trades. It's like I already have a ton. I think there's 7 or 8 trades. I'm not going to upgrade.
I think Daredevil's second to Spider-Man.
Interesting.
Yeah.
X-Men is a team, but they have a ton of Omnis too.
Well, yeah.
All right, so August 25th is Gideon Falls. Next, this is one of my picks. I have the first 3 trades of this, but I'm definitely going to upgrade because this is one of my favorite Daredevil runs in a while. This is really good. This could go down as a classic Daredevil run if Chip Zdarsky nails the landing. And I've heard of some of the stuff going on in the title right now, and it sounds crazy good. Jess, I'm excited. I know you're not going to upgrade to the hardcover, but I'm excited for you to give me your thoughts on Chip Zdarsky's run when you finish it and trade at some point.
Yeah. How many is he up to?
I think he's in the 20s right now.
In the 20s? Okay.
I mean, I think Daredevil is the most consistent character in terms of excellent runs in Marvel history.
I think you're right.
He has an amazing batting average. I mean, think about this. Frank Miller, there's Mark Waid, Brubaker, Charles Soule was good. Zdarsky's great. Bendis. There's so many good Daredevil series. And there are some bad ones, but there's more good ones than bad.
I agree.
So I think he's had the best batting average. I think the reason behind that is that there's one Daredevil title. Just one.
Yeah.
There's a million X-Men titles, a bunch of Spider-Man titles. Daredevil has one title. I think that's the reason why he's the most consistent character at Marvel.
That is a good observation.
And Marco Cicchetto, he's always been fantastic, but he's like dialed it up to 11 in this series. He's fantastic. Some of the best Daredevil artwork ever, in my opinion.
Somebody saying Nascente.
Oh, I'm sorry, but I don't have those hard. I think they're in Epic collections, right?
Yeah, I have those.
I need to get them. I just haven't read it yet. I'm sure it's good. I've heard a lot of people talk about it. I just don't own it. That's why I didn't mention it. But a lot of people do love her run, so we can include that in that list. And Kevin Smith. That's also a good run.
The collector just said that.
And David Mack did some stuff with him as well before Bendis came on. All right, so that's going to be March 17th. I wish I didn't buy the trades, but I'm happily going to upgrade.
Wow, that's a statement coming from you.
And this is one of Jess's picks.
Yeah, I'm into Cosmic Ghost Rider. I think it sounds fun.
What's going to be in this? The Donny Cates stuff? And what else?
I don't know. Just a sec. I didn't know you were going to ask me that.
I don't really know anything about it. I know that Donny Cates created him, and he's in Thanos Wins and that Cosmic Ghost Rider mini that he did, which are in the Marvel Cosmic Omni, I think. So it's going to be a double, like a kind of a double, not a double dip, but overlapping material.
Amazon blows. It doesn't say
Look at previews.
Why is this not showing me book details? See all details.
I'm guessing it's the runs after Donny Cates' run.
Yeah, it was. Let me see.
Okay. Basically, if Donny Cates is associated with anything at Marvel, it's going to get an omnibus in some way.
You saw that in preview. Oh, wait, I should go to comic releases.
That'd be a good idea.
Okay, just a sec.
Psycho Cleveland has the question of the night, Jess. Can you use baking powder past its expiration date?
Yeah, I've done that before.
It's about as safe as Swiftering your walls. I've heard that baking powder is great for cleaning your walls, Cycle. So try that.
What month is it coming out?
July 21st. Three hours later.
Shut up.
Usually you ask Siri this kind of stuff.
Yeah, and she blows me off. July 21st. Okay, wait, here we are. July 21st.
Yeah.
There is no July 21st on comic releases. It goes from July 14th to July 27th.
This is what I found on previews.
Previews doesn't work for me.
All right, so everybody, there's a comic that are coming out July 21st with something in it. So that's what Jess is looking forward to, even though he's not sure what's in it.
All right, so here it is. This says July 1st on comic releases. Thanos 13 through 18, Annual 1, Cosmic Ghost Rider 1 through 5, Ghost Rider, Cosmic Ghost Rider Destroys Marvel History 1 through 6, Guardians of the Galaxy 1 through 6, so there's a double dip, Avengers 22 through 25, and Revenge of the Cosmic Ghost Rider 1 through 5, and material from Thanos Legacy 1, and Wolverine Red, Black, White, and Blood number 3.
All right, let's hope the next one goes better for us. The next one is I don't want Jess's picks.
Oh yeah, this is the 4-issue thing by Connor and Palmiotti, the team that I love, and this is apparent. Hayden McGee says this is really good.
And this is a Black Label book, right?
Yeah, and it's a little saucy, a little spicy, and excellently written and drawn because it's by Palmiotti and Connor, who are great.
I'm wondering if this will remind me of anything of the animated series, Harley Quinn show.
Oh, that'd be great if it did.
I love that show. I'm so glad it got renewed for a 3rd season.
That's awesome.
So that's February 24th. Next up, another Harley Quinn book for Jess.
Yeah, I really like the way Harley's relationship with Bruce Wayne turned out in Curse of the White Knight. I hope it gets further explored in this. I think that Sean Murphy has a strong feel for how Harleen and Harley should be written. I really liked her a lot in Sean Murphy's previous books, the White Knight books. So I'm looking forward to this.
I don't think he wrote or drew this, though, right?
Oh, he didn't have anything to do with it?
I don't think he wrote or drew it.
Wait a minute. I have a signed copy of the first issue out on my spinner rack.
I could be wrong.
Let me go get it, and we'll see if you're right or wrong.
And sorry, that second number in the June date is kind of obscured by the white there. It's June 29th. This hardcover should come out on June 29th. And Psycho Cleveland's dominating the chat right now. I don't know. He's talking about cookies right now. So he went from baking powder to cookies.
What?
Well, I guess baking powder is involved in cookies, so
yeah,
there's that.
Okay, here's this signed by everybody in the book.
I thought there's a female writer.
Katana Collins wrote it, and Sean Murphy draws it.
Oh, I know he drew it. Okay.
Okay, so he doesn't. Okay, I didn't know that. I wasn't paying attention. He doesn't write her, so we're gonna have to see.
Well, he's intimately involved in it, at least.
Yeah.
I think we're going to see more titles spinning out of the White Knight universe because it's so popular over at DC.
Yeah.
I think we're going to see more of these coming out in the next couple of years. So that's June 29th. And then next we have Venom, and that comes out very soon. Venom Volume 2 comes out on February 3rd. I put February 3rd, 5th. Whoops. February 3rd. Sorry, everybody.
Oh, this is Harley Quinn is written by his wife.
Okay. I feel embarrassed to put February 3rd, 5th.
Third?
I was copying and pasting from a previous one, and I was trying to do this as Sam was running around the house, so I was a little bit distracted. So sorry, everybody. February 5th. How about February 5th, everybody? Sounds like I have a lisp or something. February 3rd is when that comes out. I'm really looking forward to that. I didn't get the Absolute Carnage Omni because all the Venom issues in this hardcover, I think, or at least most of them, are in the Absolute Carnage Omnibus.
Oh, they are?
I think maybe not all of them, but a decent chunk are.
Yeah.
So I don't want to double dip, and I'm just
going to what?
Don't draw attention to that, Jess. I didn't mean to say that. I'm really tongue-tied right now. What's going on with me?
Murphy does covers. Okay, wait a minute.
All right, so I'm gonna get this and the Absolute Carnage trade paperback. I skipped the Omnibus, but I think there are some issues in here that aren't in the Absolute Carnage Omni. I would think.
Yeah, so I'm going to get it anyway, and the chat is correct. Sean Gordon Murphy just did the cover of this book.
I was gonna say I didn't think he drew it.
He just did the cover.
So I think he'll probably be working on the next follow-up to Curse of the White Knight, I would think.
Yeah.
All right, next. This is one of Jess's picks.
Yes, this is a recommendation that I can give to all modern readers of Bronze Age Superman that is very readable and very well illustrated. It's by Dennis O'Neil and the dream team of Kurt Swan and Murphy Anderson. It deals with a big change in Superman in the early 70s when an event happens that renders Kryptonite inert and doesn't affect him anymore. It also creates an evil sand doppelganger of him that is following him everywhere. There's a couple of storylines that go into this. It's got a super famous cover by Neil Adams, and I think that the modern reader could get into this this early Bronze Age tale of Superman. Really well written and beautifully drawn. At the time, this Swan and Anderson were considered like the best DC artists besides Neil Adams. That is a dream team to me, Swan and Anderson together.
You said this is a Neil Adams cover, right?
Yeah,
He famously hates this cover.
Neil Adams says?
Yeah, he talked about, maybe not famously, but he talked about it on Comic Book Men, I think it was.
Oh, really?
I think he hates the way the leg by the RE is set up. He doesn't think it looks anatomically correct. So he hates the way the leg is splayed out like that. I wish he would regret his re-inking and recoloring more, but yeah. There it is. This keeps him awake at night, not his horrible re-inking and recoloring.
And Clark Kent goes from writing at the Planet to working for a TV station, and Morgan Edge is introduced, and all kinds of changes.
Is this like a mini-series? From the main Superman title.
It was the main Superman title, and it was just I can't remember how many issues it was, maybe 10 issues.
And Jacob Rocco says he reads that it's been recolored, this stuff.
Baloney.
Is he making that up? Uh-oh. That'd be terrible, Jess.
What do you mean it's been recolored? Who says that?
I don't know. Jacob Rocco says, I read that it's recolored.
And why does Cycle Cleveland say that thing is an abomination? What are we talking about?
It's hard to tell with Cycle. He could be talking about a million things. He was talking about cookies earlier, so maybe he's still talking about cookies.
I don't know anything about the recoloring. I can almost guarantee that Kurt Swan has not come back from the dead and redrawn it, and nobody's going to I hope they didn't recolor this. I've never heard that.
Omar said that it is recolored as well. He said, Jacob.
Oh.
So Cleveland said he was talking about Neil Adams' cover for his new Fantastic Four series with Mark Waid.
Stop yelling, Cycle. I don't care. Well, we're just going to have to see how it's recolored. Sometimes recoloring works out.
Yeah, this isn't Neil Adams' art, so maybe it will be good.
Yeah. Sometimes, yeah, recoloring can sometimes work, I'm hoping. Because I'm already getting it. Oh, I can't wait for this.
I haven't read any of it. The only reason why I've kind of been reticent is because I'm not a huge Greg Ticini fan.
Oh, that's right.
But I've heard this is his best artwork ever, so maybe I should give it a try on Hoopla at least, because I love Rick Remender.
This is a good story, too. I've been waiting forever for this book.
Isn't it basically like mankind, like the surface of the Earth has been destroyed by global warming or some kind of war? We all go to the seas. Is that where they're underwater?
Exactly.
Isn't there like mecha suits involved or something?
Isn't there what?
like cool like mecha suits that they fight in or something?
Yeah.
Okay. I should give it a chance on Hoopla at least.
Oh yeah, I think you might like it. I really like it.
I'm sure I like the story. I'm just not a big Ticini fan. I did think his art was better in Last Days of American Crime than Uncanny X-Force. His work on Uncanny X-Force was underwhelming, to say the least. Whenever Deadpool was climbing a building, he was almost the same height as. That was like, what is going on in this story?
I think he's gotten better.
So that's August 25th. So I think that's the final volume. I think the series will be over with this one, Jess.
I think so too. Yeah. Professor Flex and Tolga both say the art is amazing.
All right, I'll give it a try on Hoopla at least, and then see if I want to pick it up.
Yeah.
This is another one of your choices, Jess.
It is? Is this Super Spider-Girl?
Yeah.
Yeah. I need Spider-Girl Volume 3 to complete the series.
I didn't know you were so into this character.
It's really well written. I have here's the first one.
Do you have a figure of her?
Yeah, it's up on my wall. It's up on my door though.
Okay.
Up on the spider door. I've got the first complete collection, and the second complete collection is coming. And it's actually really well done. It's
Who wrote it?
I think different people. Tom DeFalco with Ron Friends and Bill Roseman. It's like an alternate universe thing where Spider-Man and Mary Jane get married, and they have May Parker as their daughter, Mayday Parker, and it was originally a what if story, and they turn her into her own character, and it's fun. It's really good fun.
If there's a spider character involved, Jess will probably enjoy it, or at least get the figures of it.
Both.
All right, so that's March 31st. And then next, I'm looking forward to this because this will be the final BPRD story published.
Oh, yeah.
So I'll have Hell on Earth and Plague of Frogs, and then this thing. I think this whole series is contained in one omnibus, as compared to the 5 of Hell on Earth and the 4 of Plague of Frogs. This will be easy. On March 10th, we can pick this up. Definitely pick this up day one because Dark Horse is a nightmare with their reprints.
Oh, yeah. You better pick this up.
Yeah, library editions, Omnis sell up very quick from Dark Horse. I wouldn't wait longer than March 10th to buy this. I'm getting on at 256 that day. I'm heading refresh.
T-Lar Bloom is back in the chat. Spider-Girl is amazing, and I have all the series in singles. Wow. Well, it's interesting that they have Scott Alley's name on that book. You'd think they would not put that on the cover.
I don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe it'll be changed by that point.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm not sure what kind of legal things they have to do for these books either, since he was a part of it and edited or wrote it. I'm not sure what that involves.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So that's going to be March 10th. Looking forward to that. I'll do a big BPRD read through. And then the last one is our hopeful book of the year.
No way.
Well, I really don't, guys, to be honest, I really don't think this is going to come out. They've delayed this maybe 3 times. It was supposed to come out early last year, right?
Yeah.
I really don't think this is going to come out. DC does.
Your thumbnail.
I mean, I know you really want this.
Oh, I do. I totally want this.
I just doubt it's going to happen, to be honest. I could be wrong. I just don't trust DC at all.
Extremely bitter if this doesn't come out.
DC is like an unfaithful spouse that you love, but you just don't trust. It's like they just failed you too many times, but you still hold on to hope that they can change.
That is a very good analogy.
Thank you.
And I am the cheated on husband.
We all are.
Yeah.
He has many husbands that they cheat on. The analogy kind of breaks down there, but anyway. So this is the book that Jess really wants, but I'm really doubting it's actually going to come out.
Yeah, I don't have any hopes for this. I didn't have any hopes for the Spectre, but it actually came out. But this one, I really doubt. Is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
Wow.
There's obviously more books that we're going to buy this year, but we had to somewhat limit it and not make it 100 books. So there's more we're going to buy this year, but those are the ones we're most excited about.
Yeah, those are the ones we are extremely excited about that we wanted.
It's nice to be back in the chat again. I'm just looking at my PowerPoint for the past 30 minutes.
Well, the chat was mostly Cycle Cleveland talking about Cookies and the Fantastic Four.
Was he in all caps screaming most of the time?
Well, his latest comment is in regular letters, but usually he does scream. Yeah, I pre-ordered this on DCBS too, whatever that was you were talking about.
Yeah, Captain America by Brubaker, Omni Volume 1 reprint is next week, Doc Lecter points out. But Jess already has that, and I am fine with the complete collections I have because I have the last 2 Omnis of Brubaker's run, and some of the rest of the stuff took a long time to track down, and I do not want to give them up. It's like I spent so much time trying to find them. It's similar to the Paul Dini situation with us, Jess.
Exactly.
I spent so much. The first 2 or 3 were easy. The last 3 were really hard for me to find, like 4 years ago, 4 or 5. I'm not going to give those up because I spent too much time tracking them down.
Yeah, and this represents what the 2 of us are looking forward to. So, I mean, you can put in the chat what you guys are looking forward to. So, the collector's looking forward to Captain America Brubaker. As Taylor said, I already have that. But I would like to start reading that sooner rather than later. I don't want to wait till July to start those 5 Omnis.
Yeah, I think our hope is to read them all by sometime in July to celebrate July 4th. And I think even T.L.R. Blount, if tax season doesn't overtake him too much, will try to join us in that readathon and we'll do a review of it. Because I know Jess hasn't read it before. I've read it. I'm due for a reread. And I think Tyler read the first Omni only.
Saz Murph is looking forward to Fantastic Four Omni Volume 4. That's a good one. Lloyd Wong is looking forward to the Spider-Gwen Omni. I'm kind of bitter about that.
Wow, you have all the hardcovers, don't you?
I have 3 hardcovers and then 2 trades. That finishes it out.
Okay.
So I am absolutely not sending in trading away 3 hardcovers for an omnibus. So I just got the 2 trades and finished out the run. I am pissed about that.
And Arya Chowdhury points to the Tomasi and Gleason Superman Omni. That is great, but Jess and I both have it in oversized hardcover, and we both prefer that format. I'm happy for those of you who want that, but I'm going to be sticking with my deluxes.
Yeah, I am too, but I highly recommend it. We both highly recommend it.
Even if you're not a big Superman fan, I think people should get it.
I agree with that.
I've talked to some people who said that really helped them love Superman more and get into him. The whole family dynamic between Lois, Jonathan, and Clark.
Yeah. Whoops. Old Republic Omni. Thunderbolts, Volume 1. Yeah, I have that pre-ordered. Now, NMMan40 says, I think issue 10 is missing from the trades for Brubaker Cap. Taylor, were you aware of that?
Oh, well, I didn't notice when I read it. So apparently it wasn't that big of a deal. I'm not going to buy 3 Omnis just because of 1 issue, but thank you for pointing that out. And man,
Spider-Man. Aliens Omnibus. Joe Chip is looking forward to that.
A lot of people are looking forward to the alien stuff coming out.
Mr. Awesome's with me. Decided to keep Spider-Gwen OHCs, cutting back. Good for you, buddy.
Yeah, I don't want to upgrade.
All the X Omnis too. Are you going to get all the X Omnis, or you're not going to get them? You are going to get them. Sergio's very excited for everything Jack Kirby. Well, that's a good idea. That is a very good thing to be excited about. Who else is excited about what? Let's see.
I've never heard of Untold Tales of Spider-Man by Kurt Busiek.
Yeah, I think he rewrites the first issues in a different manner. Let's see. Here it is.
And Psycho Cleveland, in all caps, I'm excited for the Crisis Zone collection from Fantagraphics.
Yeah, okay. You said that 45 times. I'm going to put it up and don't say it again. Good. We'll all get it. A collection of all new adventures set in the earliest days of the wondrous web slinger's career. I think it's his. joined a claim tailspinner, blah blah blah. Lost stories from, so they're from the early part of his career, and they are kind of fill-ins between issues with not fill-ins, but extending the stories and fleshing out other stories. Stuff
So what
like
happens in between the panels? What happens in between certain issues? Basically,
yeah,
like background stuff.
it's back when Spider-Man was in high school.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's Kurt Busiek, so I really enjoyed it back when I read it first, but I haven't read it in a long time. But it's I remember liking it a lot. Untold Tales.
All right, cool. So that's getting a reprint.
Yes.
Okay.
I did Tangled Web get a reprint?
Isn't that a much maligned omnibus? Don't a lot of people not like that?
Tangled Web, yeah. Everything seems to be getting a reprint, and I wondered if it was too.
You basically have every Spider-Man book.
I do. Not book.
I meant like pretty much all of Spider-Man in some format. Like you pretty much have like pretty much the whole era, like all the different eras of Spider-Man.
I think I'm missing a chunk of 90s stuff.
I don't even try to get that.
I have
I don't know how to convince you to buy the Ben Reilly omnibus.
I am not getting that. I'm not getting
Tyler told someone to read that and not Gotham Central first. And you and I were like, don't listen to Tyler.
Oh my gosh, that's right. Yeah, no, I don't have any clone stuff at all. I got that stuff, looked at it, and got rid of it. I have the Miles Morales stuff. I have all the Dan Slott stuff.
I do not. I need to get some of those hardcovers, and some of them are out of print.
And some of the trades are starting to get hard to get.
I've realized that Marvel does sell out with a lot of their trades.
Yeah.
I didn't even know about that until I was trying to track down some stuff recently.
Yeah. And no, I don't have Spider-Man by Byrne. I run hot and cold on Byrne. I don't. I mean, I liked his Man of Steel a lot. I liked his Fantastic Four, but I don't really recall liking his Spider-Man that much.
He's kind of a known jerk, right?
Well, yeah, but yeah.
Not that it matters for the content of his stuff, but
yeah, I don't I don't want to let that get in the way of, I mean, he's done nothing to me personally, and he's not a sexual offender. That's sort of a line I would draw. If he's got opinions that differ with mine, as long as he's not hurting anybody, then I'll still buy his stuff. But if he's a sexual offender or something weird, then yeah, I'm not going to buy his stuff.
Like he likes Creed. That'd be too much.
Oh, ha! That's it for me and an author if they like Creed, or worse, Nickelback.
Nickelback is worse.
Yeah.
I hope Tyler's watching right now.
Tyler, are you watching right now? Oh, he's apparently doing bootleg X-Men comics. What's the story on that? Where are they released? I didn't know about that. Everyone check out Byrne's bootleg X-Men comics he's doing. Is he releasing them on the internet? I did like Byrne's X-Men. Oh my gosh. Look at this question.
At least it wasn't in caps. And with that, I told my wife I'd wrap up the show around 9 o'clock.
Okay, that's a good idea. On Byrne's website. Okay, good. That's good to know. Thank you to the chat. It was super lively. We had a ton of people watching. We really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Okay, Sam, I will definitely tell my wife that. That's the first thing I'm going to tell her when I go up. That Seussical videos must be put back up. thank you for watching very much. We had a very lively chat. A lot of people watching. I hope the people who are watching after this enjoy the show. Thank you to my co-host Taylor. Thank you to everybody out there, and we'd appreciate it if you could give us a like. Feel free to comment. We usually respond. And subscribe if you can, please. And peace and love. Peace and love. Thank you for watching the show.